Today's Freddy's Revenge, A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, people. What can I say about Freddy's Revenge? Well, I already said yesterday this is considered the most gayest film in the franchise, but here's the thing. The actual actor who plays the main character, Jesse, in this movie, well, okay. He actually came out 2 years after the film was made. He admitted that he was gay in real life. I mean, he actually came out of the closet 2 years after the film was made. But other than that, a lot of people said there's a lot of gayness in this movie. I was like, okay, except when I was watching this back in the day as a teenager, I didn't even notice that. So, or maybe it's because of the fact I didn't give a shit back then. I was just watching a Freddy Krueger film. But here's the thing, this doesn't feel like a Freddy Krueger film at all. It barely feels like a Nightmare on Elm Street. The movie takes place about 5 years after the events of the first movie, supposedly. And we see a new family has moved into Krueger's old into 1428 Elm, or I don't even give a shit what the hell the actual house number is. Well, it's the Nightmare House. A new family has moved in there, and this one kid named Jesse is actually having horrific nightmares about Freddy Krueger. And what was the nightmare? Well, there's an opening sequence where Jesse's inside of a bus, and he and two girls are actually what's left on the bus, and the bus goes screaming past their stop out to the desert, and where a canyon actually is formed around them, and Freddy comes out of the driver's seat. I don't know what's Freddy. Well, here's a bit of a fun fact. If you pause the movie just right in the beginning, you see the driver is actually played by Robert Englund himself. So yeah, it's Freddy regardless. He's actually in full driver gear too, which is pretty funny. Anyway, Jesse is just the new kid on the block. He's actually trying to make new friends, and he has a good friend who's actually a cute girl by the name of Lisa, who was also the actress who actually played the mother character that actually was trying to get her son back from Pinhead in the fourth Hellraiser film, Bloodlines. Yeah, she's in a movie with Freddy Krueger and Pinhead. What a coincidence on that one. Too bad they never did, and too bad they never have a crossover. So yeah, and he also makes friends with this asshole bully who's kind of a dickhead jock, but he becomes friends with him regardless. Named Freddy, and there's also a guy named Coach Snyder who's a real asshole. This is where probably most of the gay tonage of the movie came in because the guy is kind of a sadist. He makes them do a bunch of stupid shit for no apparent reason because they piss him off. Yeah, here's the thing. If any of that would have happened in real life, he probably would have got fired, two, would have been arrested afterwards, and three, most likely would have got his ass raped in jail. At least that would have been a safer alternative for him compared to what happens to him in the movie. Jesse is actually continuing having nightmares about Freddy Krueger, but here's the thing. Freddy is actually trying to control this kid and actually make him a new vessel for Freddy. Freddy wants to come back into existence and actually wants to kill people again. So yeah, oh. There's always those sequences where like Freddy is actually holding the glove, but then later on he actually has Jesse holding the glove. He freaks out and he wakes up from a from a terrible sweat. Yeah, there's a lot of bad shit happening in the house. At some point, the first kill in the movie actually happens almost what 40 minutes in or something, where Jesse actually can't sleep. He goes out into he goes walking the streets of Springfield. Springwood, my bad. Springfield, Wood, Ohio. Yeah. Kind of ridiculous when you think about the fact that Springwood is in Ohio and Crystal Lake is in New Jersey. That's a 6 hour drive. How the fuck did Jason get over there? Oh, it took a whole day for him to get there. Anyway, he actually goes straight to a bar where it's like somewhat of an S&M style bar or a slanted gay bar or something, where the movie's producer actually hands him a beer. Yeah, the guy, yeah, the bartender is actually the movie's producer. Okay, just want to get that out of the way. And who happens to be there when the kid's about to have a drink? The coach, amongst all things. And what does he make him do? He drags him back to the high school and makes him do laps around the basketball court. Why? I have no idea. And he tells, "Get your dirty ass to the bathroom and get showered in, boy." This guy should have been fired, or at this point, never mind. Anyway, a bunch of the nightmare shit starts to happen, and the guy actually is being, well, okay, he gets tied up by some ropes, and he's dragged into the shower where Jesse happens to be, and the guy's stripped naked and is beaten to death and is beaten by towels. Yeah, whipping his ass, whipping his back, whipping pretty much his entire back, from his head, back, lower back, ass, and legs, being whipped by towels. Hard, too. And then Freddy Krueger comes up out of nowhere and claws the guy's back open and killing him instantly. But then, okay, to be fair, I also found out that sequence didn't actually have Robert Englund doing the first kill, so that wasn't really him. But here's a fun fact. But anyway, the whole thing ends with Jesse holding with the whole steaming mist of the shower stops, and you see Jesse is there covered in blood, holding the glove, and he freaks out. He's taken back home, and he finds out afterwards that, yeah, he thought the whole thing was a dream, but nope. Goes into school the next day. The ghost was killed. Thank you. So anyway, Lisa's doing some more. Actually, helps out Jesse with certain things, like cleaning his room, and they find Nancy's diary. So yeah, she talks about Freddy Krueger, and there's also entries about Freddy Krueger, which kind of freaks Jesse out. So Lisa decides to do some investigation on Freddy Krueger, and she discovers where Freddy used to work, which is an old factory where he took the kids to be tortured, be killed. And the factory's been closed for about maybe almost a couple of decades, due to the fact that, well, Freddy, because of the whole scandal, Freddy bringing the kids there and killing them off. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why it was closed. Anyway, Jesse's convinced of the fact that Freddy wants to actually come back into reality, so he's using Jesse to go back into the real world. And with more nightmare sequences of Freddy asking him to kill for him. Yeah, and one was almost going to be his sister, but he didn't actually get a chance to kill his sister. In fact, he tucks her back in the bed, but only realizing he's holding Freddy's glove. He's wearing the glove. It's okay, sis. I'm just going to put you back to bed. At the bed? It's okay, sister. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. What the fuck is wrong with me? Ah! Anyway, a nice pool party happens to close to the third act. Why? Because it's a slasher film. Of course, they're gonna have a fucking pool party. Hmm. Anyway, Jesse and Lisa start to get very, very intimate. So much so that Freddy wants some of that action, and he actually pulls a tongue trick on her too. But Jesse freaks out and actually leaves before anything happens. Plus, to be fair, Lisa didn't notice it because her eyes were closed. So he goes all the way to Grady's place to actually have Grady help him out. But of course, we get actually by far, in my opinion, one of the most unique sequences of the film series, and kind of one of the things this film series worked a bit more. It's a unique practical effects sequence where Jesse is saying, "Oh God, he's coming," and Freddy out of Jesse's body. Yeah, like his arm cuts open to reveal Freddy's hand. Only this time around, for some reason, Freddy's hand actually has knives coming out of his fingers rather than wearing the glove. It doesn't make any sense. So it cuts Jesse open and he comes right out of Jesse's body and kills Grady by grabbing his neck, pulling him up to the door, and just stabbing him in the chest, going downward. Now, obviously, we're seeing it from the other side of the door, but in my opinion, that's actually a pretty good kill because it just goes to the fact that when you don't see it, it looks ridiculously effective. And also, we cut to Freddy cut to Freddy letting Grady go. We get to see a mirror shot, and then we turn the camera around, and we find out it's Jesse holding the glove again. you know, there's something else I got to mention too. Freddy is not as Freddy in this movie. Yeah, he doesn't make any witty quips or something, and for some reason his skin tone is a lot darker in this version. Even though, okay, you see the cover there? That's not what he looks like in this version at all. Yeah, he doesn't look anything like himself in this movie. In fact, this is the only screenshot from the film itself. Yeah. That's mainly because nobody liked the way Freddy looked in this movie. So anyway, Jesse freaks out and he winds up going back to the party and to talk to Lisa, only to have Freddy come out again. And this time around, Freddy's now in full control, and we get some back and forth banter between him and Lisa. And Jesse is actually talking through Freddy, saying, "I love you, Lisa. I love you, Lisa." And Freddy just freaks out and goes right out the window, and he starts to attack people at the pool party by going around slashing people around. Yeah, he goes around and does a full slasher routine, which is the only time we've seen him do this. So, yeah. At some point, Lisa gets to the party and tries to stop him, which of course does work, and he just walks away, and he winds up going back to the factory. So Lisa actually follows Freddy back to the factory, and Freddy wants to try killing her, but through the power of love, I really wish I was making this part up. Seriously, I'm not even joking. This part is so fucking stupid. Through the power of love, Lisa grabs Freddy by the face and passionately kisses him. I think she even tossed some tongue in there at some point, and that's what defeats Freddy. He starts spasming, and Jesse comes right out. Jesse's life force or something takes full control, and Freddy burns alive. And out of the ashes, Jesse comes right out. So yeah, Jesse actually comes out, and now everything's all done. Yeah, Freddy's defeated again. And so we get sort of a rehashing of the ending of the first film, where now they're in the bus, and it looks like the nightmare sequence from earlier in the movie. It's like, oh no, it's not real at all. Until Lisa's friend right behind her actually has Freddy's hand pop out of her head, out of her chest, and then the movie goes into the nightmare sequence again. Movie ends. What can I even say about this movie? What can I say about this movie? Seriously. I mean, this is Nightmare on Elm Street 2 or A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge is not really a decent film at all. In fact, this movie was sort of a quickie sequel, and yeah, none of the creators from the first one came back except for Freddy Krueger, except for Robert Englund to come back as Freddy. And that was a little bit later in production. It's so stupid. I don't even know what to say about this. And all the gay tones that people saw in the movies, like, yeah, I didn't even notice them until this day. I just straight up ignore them. But the idea that Freddy is trying to come back in physical form in the real world, it's ridiculous. And I don't know what else to say about it, though. I mean, it's totally, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And Freddy, it just doesn't feel like himself in the movie at all whatsoever. And also, I do have to say, and this is true, Robert Englund says this is actually his least favorite film in the franchise. He doesn't really like it that much. In fact, he says that maybe this film should have never been made. Yeah, go work, Mr. Englund. Thank you very much on that one. In fact, the idea of this movie being a Nightmare on Elm Street doesn't make any sense. This doesn't feel like a Nightmare on Elm Street at all. The whole tone of Freddy trying to take over the kid. You know what? I think the idea for this movie was this. Like, obviously, we have a good-hearted person, and there's an evil force trying to possess the person to do dark and evil deeds. Oh my god! I just realized something. This isn't a Freddy Krueger film at all. It's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde film. How did nobody see this? I mean, think about it. Just think about this for a second, okay? Just replace Jesse with Dr. Jekyll and Freddy Krueger with Mr. Hyde, and there you go. There's the film. Oh my god. Oh my. Oh my god. Oh my sweet Jesus. I, it makes a lot of sense now. I think I realized what just happened. Originally, this was supposed to be a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde film in pre-production, but Nightmare on Elm Street did such a great job at the box office, they decided, hey, let's make a sequel to that movie with this one, and just replace the characters with some random teenager and Freddy Krueger as Mr. Hyde. What? Okay, I gotta be honest with everybody. Would I recommend this movie? No. I highly recommend you don't watch this one. It's not that good. I mean, really, it's not great at all. I mean, it's passable at best, but as a Freddy Krueger film, no. Just no. Hell no. Oh, God. The third film, on the other hand, I do recommend that one. And we'll talk about that one tomorrow. Tune in and we'll talk about the Dream Warriors. Ha ha ha!